Hello, today I'd like to introduce you to a program called WordQ. So in today's introduction to WordQ, we're going to answer a couple of questions. Firstly, what is WordQ? Second, how do I start using it? And finally, we'll take a look at what the basic functions of WordQ are and how to use some of them. As an introduction, WordQ is an assistive software which can help you with reading and writing in any computer application. The particular version of WordQ that we're going to be touring today is for a Mac, but there's also a PC version that works in much the same way. So the question becomes, how do I start using it? Well, when you first open up WordQ, after it's been installed and already authenticated with the license number, you'll come to our new user screen. So it's going to guide you through the process of starting a vocabulary. And every WordQ user needs a vocabulary. And you can choose things that match your level of writing and your language of origin. So we'll click Next to start that off. First, we're going to select our vocabulary. For us in our school, we'll use English, the Canadian version. However, there's also a British, United States version of English, and there's Spanish, French, and Dutch. Under the drop arrow, you'll see that there are multiple levels of Canadian English. You could start with a blank page. And in fact, this is suggested after you start to learn how to use WordQ. It doesn't provide you with words. And you'll see what I mean as we start to use it. Rather, it allows you to create your own list of words. The other types have descriptions for them as well. For instance, the Canadian Starter is for people who are learning to write, and it includes about 5,000 words. We're going to choose the advanced level to start with. Writers at an advanced level, at grade 7 or above, it includes words by individuals 13 years of age or older. So let's take a look at the advanced one. When we have it highlighted, we'll click Next. Now it's going to ask us to save our vocabulary. So your vocabulary is your user. When you open up WordQ, you'll have to load your vocabulary. You should make sure that you save it with an appropriate name. So we're going to click on Next, and it will provide us with a Save As queue. Go. I suggest using your name and today's date as your user vocabulary file. This way, you can go back in time and see what words were on your list when you started using the program and see which words have been added. So, I'll put in my name and the date. Now that I have my things saved, I can simply start using WordQ. So we're going to go over some of the features. This is the WordQ pane. You have options, which will allow you to change some of the feedback and language portions. You'll have words, speech, and read. These are toggles. As they're pushed in, like words and speech are pushed in right now, they're functioning. If I were to push them back out, they would no longer function. So currently we only have the words function on. So let's take a look at the words function. You'll notice once I start typing, I have this yellow box appearing. Well, the yellow box contains the words. So the words function. It provides a list of possible words that you are typing out. You can see it also starts to predict the words as well. So this tool, and as I type TO, it starts to give me words that begin with TO. You'll notice that it also gives me synonyms if there's a diamond shape, and it'll give me definitions if there's an arrow. So I'll continue to type, and you'll see tool is the word that I wanted to type. Well, to get tool to show up on the screen, I can just click on it, or I can finish typing the word. So this tool will also predict words that I could use. That's a quick look at the words menu. So, under words, it will have synonyms and definitions. It will not correct spelling mistakes, however. Next, let's take a look at the speech function. I'm going to turn the words function off temporarily. When I turn it off or push the toggle out, you'll notice that the yellow page disappears. So now we'll take a look at what speech does. Allow me to turn up my volume. When I turn on speech, it will start to read words as I complete them.
As I type, you will notice that the computer is reading the words out loud to me.
Now that's particularly useful when the computer reads the words out loud to me, because that way I could focus on the keyboard and realize that what I am meaning to type is what is happening on the screen. Another thing that it will do is will allow us to see if we've perhaps misspelled the word as another word, which is very commonly the case. Another thing that the speech function does, when I type the end of a sentence,
as I type it will notice that the computer is reading the words out loud to me.
When I finish a sentence, it will read the entire thing back to me. That way I can hear my sentence to make sure that it has a subject and predicate or that it makes sense. So that is the speech function. I'm going to go ahead and untoggle it. The next function that we have is the read function. Now you don't just toggle the read function. You have to select text first. So if I highlight text and click the read function, well, it'll simply read it back to me.
This sentence is written to demonstrate the read back function of word queue.
Now you'll notice the voice is a computer voice, but it still gives good feedback. It highlights individual words as it reads them so that the user can follow along. Well, that's it. A simple introduction to word queue, how you could start using it, and the 3 basic functions. Next time I'll go over the options menu. Thanks. See you next time.